I don't drink out of plastic. I don't use plastic stuff, so the glass is the next best thing to hold the water.
Well, yeah, she was probably.
Is this okay if it does this close
Oh,
for
you're
you?
fine. I'm gonna be for the class. I'm sitting
Okay.
for the class. I feel like sitting in the church. I
Cool.
was
Yeah,
volunteering.
towards her.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes it's allowed.
Awesome. What did you
And I
need?
just
No,
started.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
I can't. I
Sorry.
can't.
Don't tell me that because I'm the friend and.
I want to put it back in yours.
No.
Okay, fine. Because it's all working out. Here, take it back for now. For now, take it out. And we'll talk at the
I'm
end.
not saying.
We'll talk at the end. Hi. I want to say hello to everybody online that's joining. All right. So, good morning. Good morning. If we could all make sure that our phones are on silent, that would be so helpful for me and my ability to focus my mind. Because as soon as I hear a phone ding, I'm like, squirrel, and I lose the train of thought totally. I'm really good at that, at losing the train of thought when a phone goes off. But I can handle a lot of other distractions in my life. But it's so interesting. I'm like Pavlov's dog, where it's like the sound of the bell. I'm like, oh, is it me? Somebody texting me? Did I get an email? Is there something I need to tend to? Because I've been so conditioned that sound is important for me to tune into. So I appreciate everybody turning your phones off. I want to say good morning to everybody that's online joining us. I want to say good morning to all the humans that are here joining us. Welcome to Now. Hello. Hi. Awesome. Well, so this is Body, Mind, Spirit. I'm Jane, and I am really happy to get to be here today with everybody. And I'm really grateful that we all have our bodies with us today. Yay! Then we all have our minds. They're here, right? Whether or not we can control it or not, our minds are here. And our spirit's always with us, right? Sometimes it gets a little small and shrinks down, and sometimes it expands so big that everyone around us can just feel our light and our joy and our peace and our compassion. And sometimes it moves in its size, right? But it's always a part of who we are because it is who and what we are. So we can talk about anything today with the body, the mind, and or the spirit. But I want to do a little check-in first to see how everyone's body is feeling. So just one word, how's your body feeling?
Tired.
Tired?
Ticks.
Ticks?
Ticks.
Tense?
It's on you, man.
My body is feeling anxious.
Anxious?
I'm okay with mine. I don't even worry about that.
Okay.
I'm feeling fine with mine.
Fine body?
Fine.
Fine body. I don't really know what fine feels like.
Mine is like it's just neutral
Okay.
and it feels good and it can get better. I'm open to better
Okay.
and nothing aches in my body. That's the most important thing for me.
So feeling kind of peaceful with the body?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I don't know what fine is for you.
I'm aware.
Okay. Okay. How's your body feeling? Ariel,
My body is feeling relaxed.
relax. How's your body?
I'm good, just a little stiff, baby.
A little stiff today? How's your body?
Grounded.
Grounded? How's your body?
Low on energy.
Low on energy. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Is the class going on right
It
now?
is. It just started. I'm Jane.
Jane, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Essence.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
This is Body, Mind, Spirit. I'm just getting a little check-in on how everybody's body is feeling in a word. How's your body feeling right now?
It's feeling okay. I can't complain.
Yeah, kind of neutral.
Yes.
Right on. And how did you say yours was? I'm sorry.
Relax.
Relaxed. Awesome. Got a yucky body feeling on the online. I know that feeling of a yucky body feeling, and that doesn't feel good. So take a deep breath in. And just let this breath go, however that sounds and feels to you. Take a big breath in. Just fill up with oxygen. Let this breath go as you become more peaceful in your body. Next breath in is expansive and grounding and easeful. Next breath out is easeful, offering it up to the world with grace. And just become aware of the flow of your breath. You don't have to make it different. You don't have to make it deeper. You don't have to do anything with it. Just be aware of how it feels moving in and out. Maybe you want to make it more deep and expansive. Maybe you want to lengthen it out. Maybe not. But just feel it. Feel how it moves in your nose and out of your nose, or in your mouth and out of your mouth. Just feel your breath. This is spirit. It is inspiration. It's the breath of life. It's what moves our energy in our body. It's what gives us energy to live another day. It's what strengthens our mind to give us clarity. And how often we forget and get so distracted just from the breath. So just keep feeling the breath flowing in and out just for another moment. Feel the weight of your body on this earth. Feel the space that you take up on this earth in this room. And just feel your breath. Together, we'll take another big full breath in. And just let it go. Now give your body a scan. Just check in with your body right now. And notice if you feel the same as you felt a couple minutes ago when I first asked, how does your body feel? Just notice how it feels. Does it feel different? Does it feel the same? Does it feel heavier? Does it feel lighter? Does it feel more easeful? Does it feel more agitated?
My
Just
feet are
notice.
My feet are tingling, which I attribute to synergy.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone else notice a change?
Yeah, I feel like a little bit more relaxed, I guess.
Yeah, more relaxed. You said yes. How do you feel differently?
I still feel relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
but I noticed a little pain in my left knee.
Kind of tuned into
Notice
your
it.
body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I've noticed more where it's coming from, the stiffness.
Kind of tuned in to focus more on the body. Anyone else feel any different or the same?
I feel like I'm letting go of a little bit of tension with that breathing in and out, getting in touch with the breath,
Yeah.
I'm releasing tension.
Anyone else?
I always feel better after a breath. Like you'll never regret just pausing to take a breath.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm here. Oh, okay. I forgot. I forgot that I'm in my body with my body. Oh, I forgot that I have this breath. Oh, I forgot that I can calm my nervous system a little bit. I forgot that I could come back into my body. Oh, I just forgot, right? These are the things that keep me literally able to move through life. To keep me able to keep coasting. Good morning.
Good morning.
To keep coasting and not feel like I am drowning, right? Because you ever feel like life just kind of gets to where you feel like you're drowning?
Yeah. That's when you forget to stop and get in touch with your breath because you're just moving.
Yeah.
And
Quicksand.
you're doing everything except for getting in touch with your inner self.
Yeah. And it's like the more I feel like I'm drowning, the more I see what I'm drowning in, right? So if I feel like I'm drowning in debt, all I see are bills. If I feel like I'm drowning in stress, everything around me is more stressful for me. If I feel like I'm drowning in anxiety, oh my God, the future is just coming at me full force. I can't stop it. If I'm drowning in depression, I can't even get out of bed. I'm drowning in my blankets, right?
Right.
So when we feel like we're drowning, when we are literally drowning, say in water, what are we not able to do? Breathe. And everything is a metaphor for everything else in life, right? So the breath has been this key to legitimately get me to keep from drowning, in my mind, to keep from drowning in the stress around me, to keep from drowning in I'll say unhealthy patterns to keep me from drowning in desires that don't serve me. Right? Because you ever feel that? You ever feel like you have these desires that don't serve you and they'll drown you? They pull you down. If anybody's ever had anything like an addiction to anything, that's an unhealthy desire that will drown you. Just the desire for it. It's the only thing I can focus on is where am I going to get that next thing? Where am I going to get it? I don't care about anything else around me. I just need to get that fix because I forgot that I had my breath.
That's
Right?
why you stay around negative people.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, when
Definitely.
you talk about drowning, it just made me think of something. Okay, when we're all in the womb, right? We breathe water. Essentially, we breathe fluid. And we're in the most peaceful time in our life. But as we grow and then we become adults, you know, one of our biggest fears is drowning, whether it be drowning in water, drowning in quicksand, drowning in death. And it's interesting. And when we're in innocence and developing, we can breathe freely, breathe in and breathe out fluid. And when we get into lives, then it suddenly becomes toxic.
What a neat reflection.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it just made me
Yeah.
think of that.
Yeah, like we are made to breathe water. We are made to be in stressful situations. We're made to have we're made to feel anxious. We're made to feel stressed. We're made to feel sad. We're made to feel depressed. We're made to feel sorrow. We're made to feel grief. We're made to feel joy. We're made to feel confused. We're made to feel all of it. We are not made to feel like we're drowning in it. We are not programmed to feel like we can't handle life because we are divinely designed to handle life because we are life. We are life. We are life living as what we call our bodies with a mind and our spirit. Like we're made to do all of this, but we're not made to drown, right? We're not. We're not made to be thrashing about, wishing somebody could help us and nobody comes to the rescue. That's not what we're made for. We're made to breathe big and full and to float through this thing called life. And I don't know about y'all, but I haven't spent a lot of time floating through life. I've spent a lot of time in my life grasping for the next buoy, to keep from drowning. I've been grasping for relationships to make me feel loved and worthy. I've been swinging on the monkey bars of life from job to job to job to feel like I'm doing enough and I can pay the bills, right? I've been doing all of this enough. I see a lot of heads nodding. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm assuming that I'm not the only one. Right? And so I'm thinking like, oh, wait a minute. We are actually made to float. We're made to glide. We're made to live in ease. We are made to be in flow. We are actually made for that. And we lose sight of that. We lose touch of that. We lose the experience of that when we stop breathing. And I like that now when I'm saying that, it's causing people to now take a deep breath. Because it's just that reminder of every time I do take that big breath in, oh, I'm floating. I am easeful. I'm telling me that it's safe to breathe big, to be here now. Oh, my nervous system just shifted. Now I'm oxygenating my body. Now maybe some physical pains are starting to release a little. Maybe my shoulders are softening a little bit. Maybe my breath is continuing to get deeper and deeper. Maybe my jaws are softening. And just feel your body now. Just scan it again. Just give it a scan. Check in again. Now, if you have a physical sensation that's uncomfortable in your body, just take your next few breaths and breathe into it and just let it expand. So if you have a pain in your shoulder, your back, your knee, just let the breath expand into that space. Now, if you have a pain in your mind, thoughts that won't leave, thoughts that don't serve, if you have pains in your mind that say that I'm not enough, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough, I'm not abundant, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Let the breath just move those thoughts to the side and just let spaciousness come in, possibility of a new truth, an unknown. And if you have a pain in your heart, maybe you have some grief, some sadness, some feelings of being alone, abandoned, neglected, forgotten, unseen, unheard. Let this breath of great spirit, your highest self, move to this space in your heart to remind you that you are here, you are seen, you are felt, you are heard, and that you belong. Let's just take one more big breath in together and just let it go. Now, those of you that are empathic and can feel energy, do you notice the energy in the space? It's very different now than it was 10 minutes ago. It feels like a whole new room, feels like a whole new group, doesn't it? Because we all just unified our breath and we gave ourselves a lot of love and awareness and attention, and that was the only thing that we did. We could sit for the next few minutes and just sit here in silence and breathe. We can share. We do whatever we want. I do want to share that I'm curious if you're online, how do you feel now? Jay is here and says that their anxiety does that for weeks and will never give up, one step at a time. Thank you. So how's everybody feeling?
Better.
Better?
Better.
Peaceful, better?
Peaceful.
Peaceful?
Lighter.
Lighter?
Better.
Better? Pardon?
Fluid.
Fluid. That's a big difference from grounded.
Yeah.
Jane, I feel tingling. but
I'm
I'm
getting a little sleepy.
Feeling sleepy. I'm going to get back to that.
I feel tingling
Mm-hmm.
all over.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes when we get a lot more oxygen in our bodies, we can start to feel tingly. And I won't continue it longer, but if we continued it longer and longer, then what it does is it actually makes space for releasing trauma in the body.
It's releasing trauma.
Because we store trauma in our nervous system, in our fascia. It's where we do that. So if I store all of my traumas in my nervous system is always kind of like a dog, like waiting to pounce, right? Just on guard. That's what my nervous system does with every trauma I've ever experienced. Because every time I've experienced a trauma, I've done this. I held my breath. Sometimes I had to breathe as if nobody could hear my aliveness. I had to basically play dead to not be bothered, I'll say, right? So storing trauma in the body stores it in our nervous system and other places. So when we breathe, we calm the nervous system, and with different breath works, we can actually activate the nervous system in a safe way. And then those traumas will move through the body, and that can start off as tingling, and that tingling can actually move to where our hands will kind of like do this thing. And then sometimes our whole body will start to release by shaking and big tremors. I'm not going to do that today because it's a lot. And I don't want to hold that space for everybody, but it's a thing. So what I do for myself to just mitigate all of these traumas and experiences that I've had is I just breathe. Just to calm me down in every now moment that I can. And then I'm like, okay, I'm safe now. I'm safe now. I'm safe now. And then my mind is clearer. If we're drowning in anything, right? The thing that I really need to do is calm my ass down and remember to get on my back and float. I mean, really, you know? But if my mind is too far loopity loopity, what am I going to do? I'm drowning. Then I can't think clearly enough to tell myself the action of what to do, which is float. And you'll survive this.
You know, for me, a lot, it took me a long time to learn this in my recovery because I used to have a lot of talking about all the other things. But learning that, like, one, thinking what the worst case scenario of something is can help you realize that even the worst thing is not really the end of the world. And also that, you know, if something doesn't happen now, nothing really is all that important when it comes down to it. I mean, most things, of course, you need to eat and breathe, you know, but I mean, most things are not terribly important as we make them. And things just kind of, that expression, things happen when they're meant to, you know, that this, if you don't do it now, it doesn't really matter that much. The only reason we need to have the house and the car and the money and all the things is because somebody once told us we need to have all that, you know, because we had, you know, it's all anyway. So
Yeah.
I thought that kind of went with what you were.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that. And you know, oftentimes when we really feel like we're drowning, if we really get real with ourselves, it's because we don't think we have enough time. I don't have enough time to get healthy. I don't have enough time to be well. I don't have enough time to make that money. I don't have enough time to do the thing. I don't have enough time to have the family. I don't have enough time to get married again. I don't have enough time. I'm running out of time. I should have already done this by now. Oh God, I should have already started training for that. I should have gone to school for that. I should have not ended that relationship. I should have ended that relationship sooner. I should have gotten into recovery sooner. I should have gotten healthier sooner. Oh God, we could go on forever. But it's that remembering that, wait a minute, all the things that I've done has been exactly what I needed to do for this right now. Just for this right now. None of us should have done anything beyond what we've already done to be exactly where we are. And right where we are in this right now, we're safe, we're healthy, we're alive. We have a roof over our heads and we have friends around us. That's more than what a lot of people have in this right now moment. You know, what were you gonna say?
We as humans in life, we make a lot of excuses. You know, sometimes we need to look at ourselves and put our best foot forward for a reason. If you put your best foot forward, guess what? It's gonna work out. Because you're dealing with patience and you're dealing with faith. And you cannot knock that no way. I don't care how you put it. All you gotta do is wait it out. And then right turn, it's coming.
Yeah.
But you gotta believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that.
If we would have put our best foot forward in the very beginning, then we wouldn't have went through what we went through to get to where we are now. And now we putting our best foot forward. That means to me that there's a lot of things that we are not willing to go through any longer. We're not willing to do any longer. We are not, as I would say, procrastinating any longer by putting our best foot forward. So the things that we have done to get us to this point in life is that there's no excuses not to do the things that you feel that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So in any addiction that you had, that addiction took so much just to deal with that addiction. So putting your best foot forward is over. It seems to exist any longer in your life. So now you're free to pursue your best self. You know what I'm saying? That's going through the flow. That's you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we are not meant to drown. So being that we're not meant to drown, we strive, we continue, you know what I'm saying, to deal with life forces as they are.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that.
I like what you said about this, you know, getting to this point we are now, this right now moment. To me, when I kind of first heard it, when we talk about being grateful for things, you hear that a lot in recovery, and being grateful for the shift. And quite frankly, none of us would be where we are now, be who we are now, if it weren't for the shift and the good. So it's important to be grateful for it all. And I just thought that was interesting. And also that, there's something, anyway. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
so
you for sharing that.
that's one thing. So mind, body, and soul. You gotta go through things in order to experience life. If you don't go through things, how do you know how to experience things? You gotta go through the necessary experiences so you can know things can change the outcome. In the first beginning and end, you're all boiled down to this. Mind over matters. What do you want? What can you do? And what can't you do? Know your boundaries, know your level. Don't put no level on yourself. I mean, you got to. I can't fly. But don't put limits on yourself. Your mind is sort of like, it's powerful. Your spirit is powerful. Your body is only a temple. The flesh is really not much. But it's everything. Because without the flesh, you can't do nothing. Well, you can, but you can't. So, like, mind, body, and soul. Conscious, spirit, flesh. So when you align them emotionally, physically, and mentally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, when you get it all in line and you start to look at your life and look at where you at now and where you want to go, because the path doesn't matter anymore. It's done. So when you actually take the time to look at it and analyze what you want out of life, what you can get out of life, versus what somebody tell you can have out of life or want you to have out of life. What do you want? You know, it's just, I don't know. I'm off topic right now. I'm all over the place. So
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for
sharing
sharing
that.
it. Yeah. You know, it's like time is this really interesting thing. It's not real. It's just a unit of measure. That's all it is. It's a unit of measure from one point to another point. We'll say from point A to point B. That in between that is what we call time, right? It takes me 10 minutes to go from my house to Target. Time. What am I doing? I'm driving, I'm walking, I'm riding my bike. I'm not timing it there, right? I'm not. I'm actioning there. I'm not, right? So time is just the unit of measure. And these 2 points that I think that matter the most in this construct of time, these point A's and point B's, is the point A of when we're born and the point B of when we die. And that is the one moment in time that we actually have. We break it down and we think we only have so much time to get married and so much time to get healthy and so much time to lose weight and so much time to lift 85,000 pounds on a barbell, you know, or whatever that is, because I can lift 85,000 pounds on a barbell. How cool would that be? Oh, yeah, I would do it. I would bring barbells everywhere. I'd be like, oh, 85,000 pounds. Anyway, I digress. But, you know, we really have these 2 points in time that are the only thing that truly matters. The A and the B of the birth and the death. So when I really think about that, then I'm like, oh, I'm just a little speck on this one timeline of my life in this now. I can choose to look back at all the points that I've lived and be mad at myself, and I can regret it, and I can judge it, and I can blame myself all day long. I can. I could freak out about all the points that I haven't experienced. I have no idea what they look like. I don't know where I'm going to be when I have them. I could freak out about them all day. Or I can remember that I'm on this one teeny little dot of a breath of this point A, my first inhale, and my point B, my last exhale. That I'm only on this one breath right now. And if I can celebrate that one breath right now, oh my God, I get to have this day. I get to have this day. I get to have this day with people that I've met, that I know, that are friends. I get to have this people with new people. I get to have this moment with new people that I've never met, that I'm getting to meet. And oh my God, I get to have this moment, this breath. I get to have this breath. And every time I think and feel and remember that, then that means that my entire life time could be in celebration. It doesn't mean I'm not going to deal with death and relationship shit and struggle. Duh. That's life. That's the birth of new experiences, and that's the death of old experiences. That is life, birth and death, all in between. But I have my one birth and my one death. So how much of this right now can we just take and like, oh my God, this is it. This is all I got. I get this one moment, and I get to be tired in this one moment. Oh, I get to be so tired. I get to be so grumpy right now. I get to be so grumpy right now. I get to be so confused right now. I cannot know shit right now. Right? And it's that how am I choosing to experience this moment in this time of my life? And I don't remember that ever until I breathe. And when I take those breaths, I'm like, oh, wait, okay, I'm just here now. I'm not too late. I'm not too late for anything. I can't be too late. I can't really be too early. I'm just on time because it's just right now. Then grace washes over me, right? The energy, the frequency, the movement of grace then washes to me and through me. Then my body starts to feel the effects of the calmed nervous system, right? So it's how we work the body, the mind, and the spirit together. It's letting the mind witness what I'm experiencing, telling my mind that I love it for what it's doing and that it's also not going to rule the roost. It's creating the reality that I'm experiencing, but it's not the controller. My heart is the controller. My spirit is the controller. My body is the vehicle that I move it all around in. Oh, that's the new relationship on this timeline. And I want to speak to what you said, because I said I would and I want to. So you said that you got tired, right? You were feeling relaxed. You felt more relaxed. And then after the breathing, you're like, I kind of feel tired, kind of sleepy, right? Mm-hmm. So this past Saturday, I got to hold a women's retreat. And at the end of it was a sound journey. And someone came in and they were doing sound bowls and it was beautiful. And I'm in she was like leading this shamanic meditation. So I'm like, I'm in another realm and it's dope. The woman next to me is snoring. She was out like a light. And afterwards she was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Like embarrassed, right? Like, because she fell asleep. And we got to remind her that if our body is calling us to sleep, to rest, when we're in meditation, or if we've done breath work and we're like conking out, it's because our body is in need of a deeper rest, restoration, and healing than what just being awake can do for it. So she got all the medicine of the frequencies and everything, but what she needed was that deep, just turn off all the lights, all the sounds, right? Turn it all off so that her body could actually do deep healing work. So I say that because sometimes in this life experience, I should on myself and I say, oh, I should have more energy. I should be doing more. Maybe what I should be doing is resting and honoring that. And there are times when I should be doing more and I should be getting my ass outside and breathing fresh air. And there are times that I should be going outside to breathe fresh air and sit my ass down and take a nap on the grass, So I just wanted to bring awareness to that. The sleepiness is sometimes it's our body telling us like, no, you actually need rest. You actually just need sleep. And your body, my body is like, I'm going to do this. And then the mind is like, give me coffee, right? I need to wake up. And then we drink the coffee and we feel alive and then our breathing gets more shallow because we just gave us the stimulant, right? So then it's like, can we do all these things and still breathe and still be present and celebrate that, y'all, we're not running late. We're not running early. Everything that we're doing, we're on time. We're on time. I've been stressing out about time a little bit in the past few days. I've gotten a lot done in that. And I've also noticed that it's weighing on me a little bit. Like, oh, I should have done all these things by now, and oh, I didn't. Has anyone else been feeling that just with the change of the seasons? Where's it coming up for you?
Well, just the job, trying to find, trying to find work. And it's just really tough right now. I just don't understand why. It's just, ugh. But I'm trying to be patient, but it's just, I'm losing my mind. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm losing my mind. And I'm trying really hard not to lose my mind, but I've been losing my mind. I was hospitalized, and so,
Like you losing your mind.
yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because has anyone ever felt in your life, whether it's today, yesterday, 10 years ago, that you feel like you were just completely losing your marbles? Look at that. Hey. Okay, cool. Not alone. And can we just go here for a second? Let's go worst case scenario. Let's go worst case scenario of losing our mind. Then what then gets to run the show?
It could be nice for a bit.
Right? If we lose our mind, something else has to take hold. Right? Something else is going to have to run the show. If Jane's mind isn't able to show up for her, something has to get her ass out of bed. Something else has to live her body. Something else has to do that. What does that? Life.
That's matter old
Right.
man. That's matter old man.
Yeah.
The way you talk about.
Yeah. Or it's heart over mind. It's spirit over mind.
Matter.
It is mind over matter. And sometimes, like, the mind is what manifests the matter outside of us.
Yeah.
Life itself is the matter. It doesn't have to be witnessed to be it.
Okay.
Right? So if I lose my mind, hang on just 1 second. If I lose my mind, if I can say one thing to myself is that I'm losing my mind, I'm freaking out. What if I'm, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to let my mind be lost. And I'm just going to surrender. And I'm just going to let something bigger guide me.
Well, maybe that's what my daughter told me. I said, I feel like I'm losing, I'm going crazy. She said, well, just go. What you got to lose?
Right. Yeah. Worst case scenario is that our mind takes the back seat and something else within us gets to step forward. Something else inside of us gets to come online and say, I'm here now. And it could be the me that's in a state of trust or faith or flow or surrender or a divine action, right? Because sometimes the mind gets so focused on the minutia that it can't see the bigger picture. But the heart is around all direction toroidal field of electromagnetic energy that literally pulls to it other things in its likeness. Love, the divine, great spirit, the great mystery. And when our mind isn't there to pick it apart, then what unfolds is the natural evolution of the life that I am living. But if my mind is trying to control the unfolding, well, it's like a bonsai tree. It can only grow so big, right? Because we're snipping it around. Bonsai trees are cool. I love them. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I say we feel like we're losing our minds sometimes, what if we just welcomed it instead of fight it? Like, you know what? All right, I'm going to lose my mind today, but I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up on life today. I'm going to go live life today. You know?
Well, I don't lose my mind. So I was gonna say, I've kind of been where you're talking about, and kind of on what Jane was saying, and for me that letting thinking worst case scenario and letting things just kind of happen. I was homeless at one point, and all these things, like thinking we always play in our mind, I'm gonna die. That's always I'm gonna die. You're not gonna die from everything. I was homeless. I slept in my car. I slept in my apartment caught on fire, which made me homeless. It was the only apartment I could afford. And at the same time, I was unemployed because I'd lost my job and I was on unemployment. But things just sometimes just have a habit. life happens, like you were saying, have a habit of working out. And what ended up happening is I went on unemployment. And then I went on from unemployment, it happened right around 9/11, so they extended unemployment. And then I filed for disability when I realized I was disabled. And things just, we take the step, sometimes people in recovery, some cliches are true, the next right step, we take that step that makes the most sense, and things have a tendency to work out. Because there's only so many choices that step out in front of you. And when you take that check, then another choice, and eventually your mind gets clearer. And that's kind of how it was for me. And recently, I was employed with a company, and I wasn't really getting the benefit out of it I really needed to. But I was there, and I was like, I wasn't going to quit this job. I had this, and I was driving, and they finally ended up firing me, which they were trying to do for years. And when they fired me, it was the best thing. Now, mind you, I'm on disability, so I'm not in the same situation. I live in rent-controlled apartment. All these things took work, but it was the best thing they did for me. Now I'm catching up on things that I put off, and I let things happen when they're meant to happen. I don't rush things. I don't overthink things. The trash day is when all the trash cans in the house are filled. That's when it's time to take the trash out. I don't have to do it at a specific time when all the hampers in the house are full. It's time to wash the laundry, because that's what makes sense. You know what I mean? And it's amazing when your mind gets clear. I know I'm talking a lot. I'll shut up in a second. When your mind gets clear, how things just kind of happen. And I would just say to you, I know this is crosstalk, I would just say to you, it will happen, and it will happen when it's meant to. And if it doesn't happen when you're ready, something else will come. It always does.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, it's a blue question, actually. Can you see how to word this? How many people in here know how to use your spiritual gifts, or can understand your spiritual gifts? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna take it to the mind. I'm gonna break it down a little bit without losing religion.
Well, if you want, on Thursday, I do expansions and we go into the spiritual dimension of wellness. So it might be a really good time so we could spend like a good bit of time going into like spiritual gifts and how to hone that. If you would be willing to kind of wait and come back, and we could move into that space then.
Oh, okay.
And that way we can like
That'll work.
spend a good bit of time on it.
So anything is free, particularly you can do that. Mention something. So when you think. Okay, so your mind, whatever you think of, whatever you speak, that becomes your reality. So whatever, when it comes, the mind is very powerful. So just being focused on positive things. I'm gifted, so just gotta I'm actually looking at things. So
If we could pause this,
Mhm.
and if we can make that an after conversation, if that would be good. Yeah, because I think that could be of service between the two of you.
when I speak in my whole like a group.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like that our mind is such a beautiful tool, when we know how to use it, and oftentimes it gets. Bless you. Sometimes our mind, bless you. Sometimes our mind will get going on the hamster wheels too fast, and all of a sudden we just can't, right? And so sometimes that's when we lose our mind. It's because that it got spinning so fast that you don't even know if it's going forward or backward anymore. You've like lost sight of the direction of everything. You're like throwing up on the wheel, you're covered, and you're like, I can't do this anymore, right? I'm dizzy. And that's when the pausing for the breath is key, because it can help to clear the mind and drop us back into our heart. Like, what do I need? What do I want? What would light me up? How can I be of service? Where are my gifts? I don't know my gifts. How can I discover my gifts? Where can I play more? Right? And let the mind start to be open and curious, as opposed to making the mind be the fixer of all the things. Because maybe we're not here to be fixed, we're here to float. Sometimes we get curious about like, where is this water going to take me? Where is it going to lead me? You know, is anyone else going to float next to me? Am I going to come up to a neighbor that's like floating next to me and they're like, hello, you've been drowning too? And they're like, yeah, I don't even know it anymore either. And then next thing you know, you start to work together, right? And then that's when we call opportunities coming in our path. It's like, oh, you needed this and I needed this. Well, let's just work together, right? It's the getting out of the mind of like, I got to keep everything fixed and orderly and just so, because I should have done this by now. And then at that point, think about this. When our mind gets so much like that, what happens? Our head actually goes down, doesn't it? And we know that when we're thinking. I mean, you even see like that statue of that dude that's like, he's the thinking man. You know what I'm talking about? The thinking
thinker.
man. Yeah. You know, and if you think about it, if I'm thinking all the time, and I'm going out and I'm living my life, my head is down. What does that mean? I'm not going to see opportunities, right? My heart is actually closed off to opportunities because my mind is leading the show, as opposed to me being in this aligned space, right? Chin up, eyes open, curious, heart open. My mind is still in the game, but it's not running the whole show. And I'm not being totally mindless. I'm being mindful. I'm being mindful of my breath. I'm being mindful of what I'm thinking and feeling right now.
Or your environment.
Yeah, I'm being mindful of the possibilities of anything that could be in my path. I am open to possibilities. Ooh, now my mind is starting to open up. My energetic field is starting to open up to actually have possibilities.
I struggle being mindful. I thought I was, but I think I struggle overall because I'm more thinking with my mind over and over because it just, I don't know how to, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe that's what it is. I just don't know. I just don't know how to align everything because I'm thinking all mine.
Yay! I love that because that means that you have this ability to use your mind a lot, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody here, like you've been a thinker, you think a lot, right? I'm a thinker. All I do is I think about this and I think about that and I think about the other. No, God, I'm still thinking. What if we realize that we are the conscious thinker of our thoughts? I am the thinker of my thoughts. So what if now I'm thinking all these thoughts and I'm down that rabbit hole and then I just pull myself back in by just telling myself, so it's just a reminder. So now my higher mind, my frontal lobe is now saying to myself, oh wait, Jane, you are thinking these thoughts, aren't you? You're just thinking these thoughts. You're thinking these thoughts. You're still thinking these thoughts. What that's going to do is it's going to pause the thoughts by me telling myself I'm thinking the thoughts. Okay? And then once I start thinking the thoughts, and I could be like, well, now I'm going to breathe. Okay. So now my thoughts just got connected back into my body, right? So now I'm going to be feeling my body, and it could be like, whoa, I'm actually thirsty. Huh. I didn't even realize I was thirsty because I've been so busy thinking thoughts that I forgot, and I've been neglecting myself. Well, if I'm neglecting myself, then how can I go be of service to anyone else? Oh, wait, now I can't get this job that I want because every job is in service. Oh, think of my thoughts. Oh, silly me. So when we get down that rabbit hole of the thoughts, all we got to do is just remind ourselves, I'm the thinker of my thoughts. I'm just thinking my thoughts. I'm just thinking my thoughts. I can think whatever thoughts I want to think. What thoughts do I want to think right now? Do I want to think stressful thoughts or I want to think uplifting thoughts? What do I want to think right now? And then you're going to have those old thoughts be like, you got to think about me. You got to think about me. You're supposed to think about me. Remember, your father told you that you were supposed to think about these thoughts. Remember, you're supposed to pay the bills and you're supposed to be the breadwinner. And you know you can't do this if you don't do that and thinking. And then you say, oh, yeah, I thought about you long enough. I'm going to think new thoughts just for now. Now what do I want to think about? Right? So that's how we use a conscious mind, because we all have, you in general, you have this awareness that you can think your thoughts. So then it's just, where am I going to drive these thoughts? Where am I going to navigate these thoughts? Maybe I'm going to navigate it to my breath. Maybe I'm going to navigate it to creating a solution. Maybe I'm going to navigate it to like how the hell am I going to go outside again today because it felt so good, right? But we are the thinker of our thoughts. They do not control us. It just takes the reminder, I'm the thinker of my thoughts. I'm the thinker. And maybe it's just saying that a few times on repeat and then making a conscious choice of what do I want to think now? Because sometimes we can't just turn the thoughts off. We got thoughts all the time. Right?
What I found.
And then
I was just gonna share the old adage that's always helped me. It's like, how do you eat an entire elephant? And the answer is one bite at a time. And sometimes thinking about life and the overwhelming chaos and, you know, things that happen can be really helpful like that. And another way to sort of get it out of your head that I've recently started doing too is like writing them down. So, okay, I've got these three first bites of the elephant, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna write it down. And then you don't really have that anxiety of like, I might forget or I might not pay attention to it, because that's something that affects me a lot. Like sometimes I ruminate about things simply because I haven't written it down and committed to getting it done or whatever at some point, right? Doesn't mean you have to do it the second, but break it down. And that's part of being mindful too, right? It's not that whole elephant, but you can just take away at it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if anybody starts to eat elephants,
Yeah, your elephant is my favorite animal. Please,
Well, I heard the elephant ears is good.
funnel cakes are the jam.
But I think another little piece that would be helpful is also when it comes to just where it always feels like a lot of overload and chaos and thoughts racing, it's the clear understanding that the brain is a powerful machine. We have subconscious and then our conscious. So, you know, between sounds, visuals, colors, the brain is already doing tons of functions that we don't even think about. You know, then there may be some extra things that slip into the conscious. You know, well, I need a little help over here. You know, just understanding that the brain is already a powerful machine, so it's supposed to do a lot of thinking. It's built for that. And then not like, oh yeah, that's right, because I'm built like that. And then not letting that overwhelm you. You know, that could be something that maybe a helpful tool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
For
we
me,
are
when I,
like computers.
first started being mindful, a therapist gave me some advice because I used to have a lot of head talk, like sort of replaying arguments that had never happened. I don't know if that happens to you, but it's very distracting. And I'm also one of those people that thinks about not maybe every option, but a lot of them. Like, oh, I could do it this way or I could do it that way over and over again. And the way she introduced me to mindfulness is sort of a sort of a simple approach. It's just like when I was in my car, or if you're on the bus, if you don't have a car or walking, just pay much more attention to the details of everything around you. Like the size, shape, and color of that tree, the thing, and paying such intimate detail to everything around you distracts you from that because you can't do both of it. I mean, you kind of can do both, but you can't really have it all in the front right here. You can't think about like 12 problems while you're enjoying the beauty of this tree. But don't focus on that one tree. Focus on that tree long enough for a few seconds and then move to the next tree and do that repetition of doing that for me got me away from, I don't have that head talk anymore. And I don't know if you have anything like that, but I found that very helpful. And, you know, I don't do it as much as I used to, but yeah, it definitely is that mindfulness.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Does that cook out?
No. No. I thought about that. I'm like, how can I offer cacao at PR? I really did. I thought about that. So putting that out there so we can figure that out maybe. Okay, so I just want to offer an experience, right? We've oxygenated ourselves. We've kind of brought a lot of awareness to our minds and just how they operate, how each of our minds operate very differently from everyone else's, and yet how all of our minds operate exactly the same. That's cool. Like, how weird are we? You know, they're like, we all have such unique minds, and yet they all do operate relatively the same. You know, we have different neural pathways and different patterns of thought. And we have different chemicals that our brains produce within each of us, but they still, all in all, they all work about the same. So I just want to offer this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on a couple of things. so that your thoughts that maybe are running the show, that have maybe been like, you don't have enough time or whatever your story is that may have been on repeat recently, to let those just be on the back burner. And the invitation is to focus on a couple things. So if you lose focus on one thing, then you're going to go to the other thing. If you lose the focus on those two, you're going to go to the other option. So you have options. You're going to focus on your breath. You're going to focus on the feeling of your body, and you're going to focus on the sounds around you. And that's it. I'm not going to tell you what to focus on, but you're just going to focus on one of the three. I invite you, though, to close your eyes. I'll keep mine open. It'll be safe. Everybody's belongings will be as they are. So just take a deep breath in and just let it go. And just focus on your breath, how it moves in and out. Just focus on the sounds. Let them move through you. You don't have to think about what the sounds are or where they come from. Choose one of the three. That's all you have to do. You're at the right place at the right time. You have nothing to do other than just breathe and be with yourself. Stay with it. One thing, your breath, your body, and the sounds. Letting gratitude for who you are, who you've been, and who you are becoming flow through you as we take a big breath in together and just let it go. Start to come back to your body and into this present moment. Begin to gently open your eyes as you come back. Yeah. And sometimes we just need to do that. Just focus on the sounds around us, whether it's honking of cars and sirens, people screaming, children playing, the sound of the birds, the sound of a fan, whatever the sound is, we can just focus on that without attaching to, I need that to be different. I need that to be louder. I need that to be quieter. I need that to shut up. I need that to go away for me too. Feel my body and feel my breath. No. We can tap into the feeling of our body and our breath in any now moment to calm our mind, to soothe our nervous systems, and to come back into the present moment. To remind ourselves that we have plenty of time because we're all moving to point B at whatever rate we are moving. So take another big breath in with me. And like sigh it out, make a sound. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, y'all. Thanks for being here.
Indeed.
So Thursday is expansions at 10.
Did everybody sign in?
Spare. Give me a.
So yeah, Thursday is expansions at 10.
just need.
Here. Thank you all for being here online. I'll see you soon.
You sign in.